Hello, and welcome to Cutting Words. I'm Brad Thompson, and today I'd like to talk to you about Slumberwood. Slumberwood is the domain of delight I designed during the Dungeon Master Challenge. Over the course of 6 weeks, we got a different topic each week that was a design element for this domain, and we worked through that, and eventually it got me through all the way to the final three for the live game component. And it should be out very, very soon. Be published and available for you to read. That is. I can't talk about any specifics until then, but to tie you over in the meantime, there's quite a bit of information about Slumberwood already out there from the weekly challenge videos that they released from the judges during the 6 weeks as we were writing each element of this domain. So without further ado, I will now present a selection of public information about Slumberwood in a clip show format to get you hyped for the release coming out very soon. And once the Slumberwood is out fully, we'll dive in and I'll talk more about design process I took throughout the challenge on each element.
Each week, our competitors are set fiendish design challenges, which are then scored by our elite panel of judges, Amanda Hammond, Jennifer Kretschmer, and B. Dave Walters. Then, the competitor or competitors with the lowest point total for the challenge is eliminated. This week, for our first weekly challenge, we asked our 10 competitors to design a Feywild themed adventure setting. So let's hear what the judges had to say.
I want to talk about the setting that had me cackling with delight. Slumberwood. The idea of a haunted mansion-style setting that functions as an original fairy tale, a place where silly perfectly harmonizes with scary, yet still manages to have genuine depth and nuance, is perfectly on theme for the Feywild. The designer managed to give enough history for context without ever being prescriptive, to set up intrigue scenarios, and to capture the duality and fairy tale logic that is so essential to the Feywild. Everything in this playground has layers to be unmasked and a clever internal logic, like the screams that turn out to be the means of conveyance. Everything feels playable and actionable as a DM, and there are multiple approaches to every mystery and every obstacle. And the two main NPCs that are provided have complexities and motivations and vulnerabilities and personality. They absolutely leap off of the page. Even the smaller NPCs in the random encounter table begin to write themselves. There are opportunities for silliness and scariness and so much more. The best design for D&D inspires imagination, and Slumberwood provides a spooky, silly sugar rush of delight. I cannot wait to see what everybody does next week.
Hey everybody, B. Dave Walters here. The week 1 submissions are upon us, and I was not disappointed. I was really impressed by everything everybody sent in. Each of them had some great hook or aspect of a domain that was really fantastic, and I would definitely want to see more of. But I think 2 really jumped out at me the most. That was number 2 with Slumberwood and number 3 with Kukanai.
It's time for your next challenge. Now, adventurers love to hate someone, and dungeon masters love a complex, scheming antagonist to challenge their adventuring party. It's time for you to create the villain, a dastardly deed-doer that does indeed dare. Once again, it is time for you to roll for initiative. You have 72 hours. Good luck, Dungeon Masters.
And once again, I was sweet on Maybelle, the scheming fairy godmother of Slumberwood. Every element of Maybelle's design is so well thought out. From her origin story, how she Hansel and Gretel'd her way into a hag's candy house, and her deaths, really highlighted thematic elements, fairy tale logic, but more importantly, how fey debt is immutable currency. It all directly motivates Maybelle's tactics in combat. She'd always rather set a trap for enemies than kill them directly and risk absorbing more debts. It's a nice twist from the standard inevitable combat with the big bad. A combat with Maybelle seems simple at first glance, but when you factor in her candy lair full of pixies, hidden mimics, and traps that rapidly amplify the difficulty of a fight, it really allows a DM to easily tune combat difficulty up or down for their parties. There's so much to discover about Maybelle, her brother's fate, her Hamlet-esque machinations, and the trouble she found herself in with the Gloaming Court, that Maybelle alone could be the basis for an entire campaign. In fact, she was one of the few villains who really felt like they could sustain player curiosity for the duration of an entire campaign. Her story is chock full of hooks, secrets, mysteries, twists, and turns, all of which have the potential to be played as broad comedy or a truly touching story of a little girl who's still lost in the woods. Her nuance, flexibility, depth of design, and capability of being a fantastic foil truly set her apart this week for me.
Because it is time to design that coveted dungeon element that serves as a useful tool to combat your foes, or, for those rogues in the party, to convert into coin. The magic item. Once again, it is time to roll for initiative. You know the drill. You've got 72 hours. Good luck, Dungeon Masters.
Was the pocket pipe organ. Y'all know me. I love anything delightfully extra. I love the idea of having a pipe organ that's this big that you can create your own mood music and ambiance with and alter the terrain and all kinds of fantastic stuff. Really liked all of the submissions this week. Those two in particular stuck out for me.
The task of designing a feature hazard. And we are not just talking a bump in the road. Oh no, we are looking for something truly nefarious. So get your thinking caps on and roll for initiative. You have 72 hours. Good luck, Dungeon Masters.
But I was swept up into the delicately drifting dream globes of the Rampant Dream. The Rampant Dreams are floating brightly colored literal thought, or more specifically, dream bubbles, which can engulf and absorb unprepared characters, trapping them within the dreams of any creature who has slept in the realm. Once a sphere has absorbed a creature, a rampant dream floats upward where it risks being perilously popped, sending the enclosed creature plummeting. Within the sphere, a creature experiences the dream contained within, and while there can be perks, like learning secrets about the dreamer or imagining a scenario so delightful that it heals the waking wanderer, it also can turn to a treacherous nightmare. These dreams often come from non-player characters that the PCs may have met, providing hints or history about their backgrounds and motivations, but they can also potentially come from the players themselves. Players within the dream have the possibility of learning to control it, essentially a mechanism for lucid dreaming, which allows them to spin the knowledge within to their advantage. It was fascinating that two of our contestants this week floated into the territory of the externalization of characters' deepest desires and fears. Both the manifesting fog and the Rampant Dream created ways to trap PCs in realms of their own making. But what took the Rampant Dream above and beyond for me was the way it harnessed the dreams of non-player characters as a mechanism to reveal their secrets, history, or desires, and allow the DM a dynamic resource to drive the story forward. Great job, everyone, and keep the creativity coming, and I will see you all next week.
That means that next week will be a double elimination. So, with that in mind, competitors, this week's challenge is a big one. That most famous of dungeon threats, always lurking in the shadows or around the next turn. A Feywild monster. Dungeon Masters, it is time to roll for initiative. You have 72 hours. Good luck.
Hello, DM Challenge finalists and fans. I am Jen Kretschmer, and it has been my incredible honor to judge your phenomenal creations for the last 6 weeks. Each and every competitor came up with brilliant concepts and creatures weekly in an astonishingly tricky time frame. We saw so much growth and depth to the settings you designed, and all 10 of you should be immensely proud of the work you've done. These decisions were not easy. From the very beginning, the designer I am thrilled to welcome to the finals delighted me, Amanda, and B-Dave with their layered, playful, and well-thought-out creations. Each week they brought a new, clever, twisted fairy tale treat to the table. I would like to congratulate the creator of Slumberwood on being one of our final 3. You caught our attention back in week 1 with your spooky, silly setting where nothing was as it seemed, and kept us hooked with a candy trail of troubled fairy godmothers, adventurous trees, petite pipe organs bursting with panache, dangerous dream bubbles, and now the swarm of wick whistlers. It has been an absolute joy to read your entries. Well done. Wick Whistlers are tiny candle-like fae born of the tears of a disappointed child on their birthday. The origin alone nails the strange specificity of the Feywild, but this design takes it further. They band together to form a vengeance-seeking swarm determined to steal as many gifts as possible, usually from hapless passerby. These gifts are judged on their worthiness, as the Fae try to please their child's creator, or on occasion an employer who set them on a specific retrieval task. One tiny Wick Whistler is not terribly fearsome, but a birthday tune whistling swarm certainly is, as the creatures form a cloud of smoke around themselves, mimicking larger, more frightening creatures, including dragons, an illusion aided by their ability to blast fiery breath at enemies. There is a ton of roleplay potential, and the idea of a vengeance-bent smoke dragon humming a minor key happy birthday before demanding that a character surrender any toys in their pockets immediately in order to please a cranky toddler, who within the Feywild's time distortion may be well into old age by the time that anything is resolved, is a hilarious idea and has a plethora of encounter possibilities. The novelty, imagination, and playfulness of this Fey foe pushed Slumberwood into the final round. Again, to all of our competitors, you did spectacular work. And to our 3 finalists, congratulations, and we cannot wait to see you at the table. I will see all of you at D&D Celebration.
And that's Slumberwood. I look forward to being able to talk about it more once it's out and you'll be able to have a read of this Domain of Delight. Wizards of the Coast are working on the publication that should be up on the DM's Guild very soon. If you subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button and you'll be alerted when that comes out and when my videos come out talking about Slumberwood in further detail. So, until next time, I'm Brad Thompson. This has been Cutting Words.